December the 9th is when we launched.
That's right.
So, and it was basically a soft launch because my purpose with it is that I just want to get the word out, want to create a bit of awareness that this is coming in 2021.
Okay. So launching a business in 2020, as we all know, the year that we are closing, that's been quite the year.
Yes.
And launching a business is quite the risk, especially with this year that we've had. So my question to you is, what the hell were you thinking?
Well, I beg to differ. I feel that when a person is in their most abject poverty place, whether that's physical, emotional, spiritual, financial, whatever that may be, is the time when they have more motivation and more incentive to do the work and be disciplined to be able to be successful tomorrow. I feel that's when you have to really do it. Now, this has been the year that we feel that the world stood still. But did it really, Henna? Did the world stand still? Was the pause brought on, for a purpose, for a reason? Now, let's not talk about the political and the economic, because there's all kinds of conspiracy theories out there. And that's really not where my mind goes at all. Because I feel that at any point in any given historical space that we've ever recorded as humans, there's been something that's gotten in the way of something. So I'm not willing to have that discussion. But what I am willing to say is that look at how the environment in our collective consciousness has changed in 2020. Look at how people came together around the world for BLM. Look at how Me Too went to that next level. Look at how all of a sudden celebrities weren't gods anymore, and the gods became the people that were fighting for the lives that we were trying to save. Think about how the dynamics of our society has changed. So I guess it's up to you to decide, because I'm not here to make that decision for you, and I'm just not. I'm not predicated on judgment. That's just I don't emanate from that space. My thing is to always ask the question: has it really been a year that's been that bad? And if it's been bad on one side, has there been any good that's come out of that? For me, the good that's come out of it is it's given me a time in my life when, I've never allowed myself to sit still. You know me, I work 7 days a week, minimum 18 hours. And I do it not because I have to, but because I love to work. It's just who I am. And, there's so many myths. There's so many, you should live a balanced life. Like, to me, that is just, total bullshit. Because I feel that what is balanced for one person is not balanced for another.
Yeah, it's true. Absolutely.
Right? Like, I wouldn't feel balanced if I had to spend, if I have to spend 50% of my time not working less from what I spend now, that would make me a very unbalanced, very moody, very, unhappy human. Because I figured out the ingredients of the cocktail that when I drink it, it makes me merry. Like, I know what that is, right? And I live that every single day. So this year for me, I got so many people at the time that the pandemic happened in March that just started to bombard me, PM me, DM me, send me emails to all of my multiple, different email addresses, like social media and everything. And I don't know if you remember, I came to you and I said that we got to help people out there. They're suffering so badly. Yeah. And we launched this whole concept, this editorial series with Anoki, which really was to kind of create awareness for people that couldn't afford advertising, that couldn't afford to be able to put themselves out there. And it's something that we have decided to now continue for always, right? Mm-hmm. Is to help people that don't have the wherewithal to be able to get the word out about their business. So what happened was for me that I got to a point where I kind of got to the point where I couldn't take on any more clients, right? Because as I mentioned, my service was one-on-one. It's literally me, right? Yeah. So I had to think about, how do I scale this?
Yeah.
How do I make it available for multiple different types of people? So this is what I started thinking about, because my one-on-one service really, to be very honest, and I'm being fully transparent about this,
Yeah.
is not for someone that can't afford my time. It's like literally it's going to be someone that's at least middle management and up, right? Or a, entrepreneur or someone, because that is what that service is all about. It's like it's dedicated to you as one person, and I bring my 30 years in the entrepreneurial space to that table, and all the resources that come with that. So that's always been the way I've worked. But now I'm faced with people that are coming to me that can't afford to work with me. They're coming from different parts of the world, Henna. They have a larger, more diverse group of problems they're looking to get solutions for. They learn and consume skills in different ways, right? And they're at different phases of their IQ understanding of something. So I took all of these criterias and created the foundation of the Open Chess Confidence Academy based on that. So my mission was that I wanted to be able to serve the greatest amount of people in as varied and as diverse and as inclusive a way as I possibly could. And, regardless of what your financial background was, or where you live in the world, or what you know and what you don't know. I mean, that's a tall order, but it's one that I have mandated to accomplish for the rest of my life from this point forward with this academy.
And that is something that you've made very clear in your mission statement, because you say that it's dedicated and committed to a culture that is all learning, all budgets, all access to growth.
Absolutely.
Now, let's talk about the offerings that the Open Chess Confidence Academy has.
Okay, so now you're getting me excited. So
let's talk meat.
Let me dive right in. So basically, as I mentioned, it's an all for everyone. So this is basically the reason why I decided I needed to launch an academy, because it needed to be one place where multiple things could be going on. That's the first thing. And the second thing is that my wheelhouse of the subject matter that we're going to cover in all these kind of various different criteria are in the area of communications. So whether it is media, marketing, branding, image, public relations, mindset, all of these are kind of the wheelhouse of what the products and services are that we are going to be drip launching throughout 2021 onwards. So what we've decided to do is, in order to be able to make the mission statement work and to be accountable to that, I have decided to put together 3 different pillars of offerings, which are a mix of products and services. So the first one is learn from us. So the learn from us is basically 5 different ways that you can consume information and learn about something within that kind of communications lens, in order to help you transform and grow to that next important milestone in your life. Now, what that is, only you know, and it's very individualistic, right? So these are not being put out there with very, very specific messaging in terms of, if you have this problem, go here. This is not the way we're building the programs and the courses and the content and the resources. What we're doing is we're building it on what it is that you actually need to add to your own wheelhouse of expertise that you already have, right? Like, do you need to get more understanding on how to put your brand in front of people better? Do you need to know how to orate your message so that the prospects and clients you're looking for will actually hear you? You know what I mean? So you know what it is, the intention that you need to get to. What we do is we give you the skills and the academic knowledge for that particular wheelhouse challenge that you're in. And the other thing is that the 5 that we have one which is a library of videos which are 7 minutes long. And the purpose of those is for those people who don't have time, who want to get to the crux of what it is they need to get to, and they want to get it now. So that those video nuggets of wisdom are 7 minutes long. So we'll be launching that. We're also launching 2 brochure series of libraries as well. One is called the 101 series. The other one is called Industry Insiders series. The 101 is basically the beginner's level, the how-to, you know, the 101 on branding, the 101 on communications, and so on. Industry Insiders is the intermediary stage, where once you've got the kind of that foundational knowledge on, say, branding, for example, you want to know, what are the pundits, the gurus, the experts, what are they saying that you need to know? So we've compiled that so that you can get it in one place, very easily accessible. We will then have something that I'm really excited about, which is a 4-week course series, which is called Transformation 31. Now, this is basically for those people who aren't into kind of the academia of things, and they want to kind of be drip fed to get from A to Z. So what I'll be doing there is this will be a pre-recorded environment of maybe 15 to 20-minute videos, where each day for 31 days, you'll be committed to checking in and doing the minimal amount of work that you're being asked to do as part of the exercise, so that by the end of it, you're not feeling like, oh my God, I've been bombarded, because, you know, people have lives, right? Bit by bit, you're being drip fed. And then by the time you get to day 31, you've gotten to the quest that we say that you will accomplish if you go through this. Yeah. This is the reason why this is called Transformation 31. So we'll be doing branding and mindset and all kinds of wonderful things that will be drip launching throughout, you know, the course of numerous years. Because this one is like never ending. Initially, it'll be me that's, you know, kind of putting these together and putting them out there based on all of what I know and all of what I have access to. But then I'm looking at bringing in, you know, experts in specific areas to actually bring their wealth of knowledge into these different silos, whether it's the 7-minute, you know, video series, whether it's a 101, whether it's the Transformation 31. So you're like, I want to kind of grow it then beyond me, because, you know, in order for me to stay true to the diversity and the inclusivity of the information and the teachings here, I need to make sure that I bring in as diverse a pool of people to accomplish that. And then the other item I have under Learn From Us is the 0 to 360 program. Now, this is for people like you, Henna. This is for people who are academics, who love to get modules like they're in university, who like to be able to have, you know, Q&A sessions with the experts, who like to get homework, who you know, those people who then, you know, who like to be kind of sitting at the front of the class, like I know you did when you were in school, and you know, want the extra work. There'll also be advanced sections for people that don't have to be done to get this get through the program, but it's for those, you know, eager beavers that want to do that little bit extra. So there'll be the advanced section for each of these. This will be a 12-week integrated hybrid program, and you'll get access to a private Facebook group, because I want that there to also be a community that we create that can support each other, babe. Because you know, how, like, what better way to learn outside of learning from experts is to learn from each other, because you're going through it together, and it also helps lift you up and keep you on point and keep you on track. So that's kind of the first pillar. You want me to go into the second pillar?
Tell me the second pillar. Yes,
okay,
please.
So the second pillar is all service-based. So the second pillar is work with us. So yeah, one of those is what I'm already doing, that I've been doing since 2017, and that's working 101 with me, and that's called Consult with Raj Girn. It's already live because it's the one service that I've actually been doing all this time.
That's the one that's live. Yes.
Yeah. So you can head over to the Open Chest Confidence Academy and just click on the tab that says Work with Us. There'll be a drop-down menu, and right in there will be Consult with Raj Girn. Click on there and you'll get to know what that's all about. And the way that I've done my one-on-one consulting, Henna, it's not just like, okay, you get your hour with me and then we don't, you don't hear from each other until the next hour. What I've done is I've got kind of in between our sessions, I have, WhatsApp support. I've got email support.
That's great.
Yeah. So there's these, because I feel I need that when I'm learning. Right. And, I've looked at a lot of these academics. I've looked at, consultants. I've seen how they do it, and they kind of do it like, lawyers do it, pay for hour, pay for my time. And I don't think that's enough. I don't think that you're truly serving someone in your one-on-one time with them if you don't give them a little something to support them when they're not with you.
Yeah.
Should they be working with you on a little bit of a longer time basis? Now, obviously, if the person wants 1 hour with you, they've got a specific goal to get to the end of that session, that's different. But for people that are on a journey to get from A to Z, and I book maybe half a dozen sessions, I feel that the support in between these sessions is important. And I always give homework. And the reason I do that is I want people to be accountable to their own actions, because that's what's actually going to get them to transform, not the hour they spend with me. The hour they spend with me is literally opening them up, but to flower, to bloom is on them. So that's that one. And then coming back to addressing kind of the amount of people that have been coming to me that really can't afford to work with me one-on-one. I wanted to create a collective environment where people could kind of come into a membership community type of thing where, once a week, we have like, say, an hour or two together, and it'll be known, the whole year's calendar will be known, like, what day that is or what subject we'll be talking about, whether it be communications, mindset, whatever. And I come in for that time, and it'll be a very organized, templated time. Part of it will be a learning. Part of it will be question answering. Part of it will be bringing in an expert. You know what I mean? So there'll be different things that we'll be doing. And that one's called Monthly Mentor Mastery.
So the monthly mentor mastery, I just wanted to clarify. So is that a group class, or is it still one-on-one?
It is one-on-one with me and whoever in the world is a part of that membership. So they will come on in this virtual environment, right? So it's as close to getting me for yourself that you can get without actually working only with me. Now, the advantage of this is for people who need that kind of check-in every month. This is great for those people. It's for people who, want to get the wealth of wisdom from world-class experts, because that's what I'll be bringing to each session with people that I bring in, but will never, ever get access to them because they'll never be able to afford them, right? So this is where I do that as part of my service to you. And it's open to whoever it is in the world that wants to be a part of it, for a nominal fee each month.
Amazing.
So that's kind of, and again, there will be a Facebook group with that will be private only to that membership, because again, I'm going to throw people to go there to share things that we've talked about specifically to keep the momentum going until the next session. And I'll also be popping into that group a couple of times a month, maybe with another guest, because, there's just something I feel that you need additional support in what we just talked about, or maybe to get you ready for the next one. Or if I just feel that we're getting a whole bunch of questions that are coming into us, that I just want to address it and make sure that people get the value and there's no kind of holes in the process, And the great thing about that one, which I'm really excited about, is that, to have the environment of the energy of collective consciousness is something I really believe in. Me, I'm very much a spiritual being, and I really do believe that, energy has no allegiance but to that which calls it. So I choose to create an environment where I'm calling the energy to live and be the best that they can be. And nobody knows what that is but themselves. So this is that environment that they garner that. They get time with me. They get time with experts. They get something, a new way of looking at things. They get to kind of, network with other people in this private environment. And they get to, slowly drip transformation into their lives. So that's what this is about. And those people that join it, I have this cute little thank you gift, because I want to just say thank you to everybody. that, you know, keeps the momentum up for everybody else, because really the group is predicated upon, you know, the contributions that we get from everyone that's a part of that group. This is not, you know, about me and me here and them there. This is about us working cohesively together to get people to where they need to get to. And to me, it's about transformation and growth. The entire academy and everything it's about is about transformation and growth.
I mean, it's so amazing what you have put together, Raj. Can I ask you, how long did it take for you to, like, how long did it take you to kind of put this together? I'm guessing a year at least.
Yeah. So it's been something that's been on my radar for probably since 2018. Okay. But I needed to kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, like what, I mean, like, am I going to be just like another coach? Am I going to be another learning facility? Like, what is this actually going to be that is truly going to give value to people in as diverse a way as possible, but very, very laser focused on kind of the lens through which we're doing all of this, right? So there was a lot of kind of, you know, really having to think about what that needed to be, and how am I going to do it? Like, what is it going to be? And then how am I going to do it? And I just wanted to mention one thing to you, Hannah, that the third pillar is the design for you, the one that you mentioned at the beginning.
Yes.
And that one is something that, because that one requires people to be in person together, it's kind of like it's corporate mastermind is the first launch of that. And that's going to be in 2022. And the reason is that I want to be with me and a group of, you know, experts I bring to the table, where I work with groups of people, right, in a 2-day retreat style environment that I feel is designed for a specific type of person. This is why it's designed for you. So there'll be a number of them that we'll do intermittently, and I probably will do one a season, and I'll focus on a specific type of group of people. And this will be all kind of predicated on what we learn in our case studies with the people that come on board with the various different products and services up until that point. So really, you know, it may not even be in 2022, but we may push it further. And the reason is that I want us to be able to have had enough experience and case studies to kind of see what people would get value from a interpersonal, interactive environment like this.
The retreat is in person.
In person.
Okay. Yeah. Excellent. No, that's
yes.
Good. Now, one thing which I wanted to, now obviously you are accredited by 2 globally acclaimed coaching institutions.
Mm-hmm.
Can you tell me the 2 certifications that you have?
Yeah, I have the ICF. The ICF, you know, coaching accreditation is it's actually a certification, and there's various different degrees of it, and it's kind of the gold standard of coaching. It's you know, it's recognized around the world. They have multiple chapters around the world, and they are the ones that kind of set the rules and regulations and the code of ethics by which, as a coach, you know, if you're accredited with any institution out there, that's then needs to have an affiliation with the ICF in order for it to be legit. So, you know, that's one. And the other one is the Flow Institute, which is directly accredited with the ICF. So anything they put out there follows the strict mandates of the association. So those are the 2 that I have credentials with.
Now, in addition to that, which I find it fascinating, is you are also a Reiki practitioner.
Yes.
You need to talk to me about that, because I want to know the connection with Reiki and your overall coaching mission. Absolutely.
So Reiki is about energy. It's about understanding the energy in the universe. It's the whole collective consciousness, yet being an individual ideology that I fully believe in, and that I have in my journey of life come to understand outside of knowing Reiki. And Reiki is one of those things that, I mean, you know, as spiritual beings, you're either drawn to it or not. And I was drawn to it this year through a lot of deep meditations. You know that I'm a meditation practitioner for a couple of decades now. And in fact, I think that I came out of the belly as someone that meditated, because I remember sitting there in my earliest memory, just sitting there on my bed in the dark and having conversations with God. So, you know, even that is a form of meditation. So, and it's interesting because, you know, and this was something that a friend of mine mentioned to me, and it really made sense to me. Prayer is when you're talking to God.
Yeah.
Meditation is when God's talking to you. So if you look at that, I've spent all these years in prayer and meditation, and in my states of meditation, because there's different, you know, levels of meditation, I've gotten answers to things that I never realized you could get answers to through stilling and disciplining your mind and your heart and your body. Like, it sounds so surreal for somebody who's used to kind of, you know, the more logical way of looking at life. But if you were to really still your being, so that is your mind, your body, your heart, your soul, all of it, you'll hear so much more than you ever can when you're busy chatting away with people, or you're busy hearing people. You'll hear more. And what I mean by that is you'll hear more of what you actually need to hear about you and about your purpose in life. Like, because in order for that to work for you, you need to be open to the idea that not all messages and information comes to you through verbal or written communication. You have to be open to the idea that there are other forms of communication, higher forms of communication, more sophisticated forms of communications, through which you can really kind of dial in and download the things that you need to, you know, to kind of connect with your higher self. And so that's kind of what brought me to the journey of Reiki. And, you know, Reiki for me is a kind of meditation. For the easiest way for me to say it, it is when you align all of the energy points, and there's 7 of them in your body. And really, if you're aligned, and if you're open, and if you're cleared, the belief is, and the ideology behind it is that you don't, you know, that you're able to release trauma, not just trauma you've experienced in this lifetime, but trauma that you've experienced in past lifetimes, trauma that has come down from your ancestors, you know, in your bloodline. And you know, and that also is predicated on whether you believe that, you know, you keep being born in the same families, you know what I mean? Like, you have to have kind of that belief, and there's copious amounts of information about that to do your own personal research on. But I am a firm believer that we carry the weight or the light of our ancestors, and you know, and I feel that meditation and Reiki helps you tap into that which doesn't serve you and that which does serve you, so you can identify removing and absorbing whichever one of those two serves your purposes in this particular lifetime. And you know, the 7 different chakras of your body that you kind of work on, what you do is, when you're working on yourself, you work from the root chakra all the way up to your crown chakra. When you're working on someone, you do it the other way around. You work from the root chakra down to the crown chakra down to the root chakra. And each chakra has a different point of understanding about yourself, about your environment, about the human race, and about just the energy of the universe. It's really fascinating. And what I found in, you know, the time that I've been practicing it, I'm working on my master level right now. At the very minimal, it makes you check in with yourself, right? Like you know, that thing that we say we do, but we never really do because life happens, right?
Yeah.
So that's the minimal. And this is a daily practice. So this is a commitment that you make to your higher self. So if you picture it, right, what I do is I say, okay, Raj Girn, the higher version of Raj Girn, I'm tapping into you because this is what I need to know right now. Right. So think about that. Think about just the concept of if you were able to talk to the higher version of Henna and Sari, the one that is fully enlightened, that is fully clear of trauma, that lives in the greatest peace, right? And is as large as the universe itself. What would you ask her? What conversation would you have with her? So the thing about meditation, the thing about Reiki is you're able to tap into that version of yourself. And it's a practice, right? You know, you have to go through like a whole process. And, you know, the reason why I want to get up to master level and then, you know, I'm looking at even teacher level is that I would like to be able to teach people to heal themselves. I'd like to be able to teach people to better themselves through the practice of Reiki. But I will be bringing elements of Reiki into what I do across the entire academy, as and when I feel it specifically is applicable for what we're talking about in that given moment. And it's interesting because you just brought me to a certain point. All of what I do and I release in this academy is going to have meditation attached to it. And the reason why I feel that's important, Henna, is that the difference between those who accomplish great things and those who don't is their mindset. It really is, right? I mean, like,
yeah, you're absolutely right.
Like 100%. otherwise, I mean, other than the people that are born with a silver spoon in their mouth, think about the people that had nothing, that all of a sudden ended up being the richest people in the world, the most famous people in the world, the most giving people in the world. Like, where did they get all that from? Yeah. They weren't born with anything. They were born in dirt, right? Where did they get it from? It's a mindset game, babe. And this is why the meditative piece, the Reiki, and I feel that you can't fully emancipate and enlighten in your meditation if you haven't cleared the trauma that is locked and closing all of your energy centers. Like all 7 energy centers need to be open, babe, in order for you to receive your higher self.
That just gives me chills.
I know it would.
You know, like you think about it and you're just like, my goodness, yeah, that's amazing. And I'm really looking forward to you getting the teacher level and being able to really offer that up through your Confidence Academy, because I think that is such an incredible element of, it's just of service, you know, and I want to talk about service.
Okay.
Because I know that you have the Open Chest Confidence Foundation.
Yes. I'm so happy that you're asking me about that.
Of course, yes. Now, I wanted to ask you, as a Sikh woman, giving back is an integral part of the Sikh identity, of the Sikh philosophies, the whole seva.
Absolutely.
I wanted to ask you about that. Please tell me more about that philosophy and how it ties into the foundation that you're putting together.
Absolutely. So, I don't know if it was, you know, I don't know if it was first through fear. You know, when you're younger, you're like, you know, you're taught that, well, 10% is supposed to go to charity, right? It's the case in Islam. It's the case in Hinduism. It's no different, sweetheart.
Yeah.
You know, anyone that anyone's childhood that was rooted in religion understands how the give back is a huge part of how you need to live. And in Sikhism, it's very up front and center. So I was really brought up to believe that in order for you to excel in life, you must give. Right? So this has just been, and so in the beginning, you know, when you're younger, it's fear. Fear leads you to give, right? I mean, at least it did with me. I thought to myself, well, you know, if I want this next big thing in my life, you know, let me go to the Gurdwara and, you know, donate some money, or let me donate money to this charity because I'm giving before I'm asking to receive, right? So that's kind of the ideology behind it. It's kind of cheeky. It's kind of cheeky that you're doing that with the universe, but that's kind of, you know, how I was introduced to my own personal practice of charity. Then it kind of grew to a point where I started to educate myself on truly how people really are suffering out there, and the kinds of things that I wanted to put my resources and my money behind. So, you know, I kind of went into that realm. Now I'm at a point, babe, like, you know, as I mentioned to you earlier, I've done a lot in my life, right? I'm 50 years old and I'm about halfway through my life. And I think to myself, I mean, like, how much more do you need to be known, right? How much more money do you need to make? Like, how much more anything is needed, right? Like, at what point is it enough, right? And I feel that that's one place that I can put my time and energy, right? On the other side, I have got an instant gratification that I don't get on the other side of when I use my energy, where how do I make more money? How do more people get to know me? How that to me, you know, when I get this goal, then there's the next goal, then there's the next goal. Like, I'm constantly searching for satisfaction in a formula that is constantly giving me more reason to want to have more. Like, there's never satisfaction in the use of energy in that way. But but like I mentioned, you give $1, you give 50 cents, and the person's like, oh, thank you, God bless you. I'm instantly satisfied. It's enough. So this is why I felt, in order for me, and this is where I'm at right now, right? Like, I don't have any fear. I know that everything that that I am and that I will be is because of the effort and the time, and that formula I mentioned to you about earlier on, that you need in order for you to accomplish anything in life, right? Is the open mind, right? The guru, like the person who knows how to get you there, and the work you put in. Those are the 3 things that can get you anything in life. With one of those missing, you can still get there, but maybe it won't just be the highest version of who you are by the time you get there, which is what I need to be. That's important to me. Based on that, I felt I needed to, from the get-go, when I start this academy, I wanted to make sure that 10% of all profits from this company need to go to people that need it. And when I say need it, I'm talking about initially what we'll do is we'll give money to charities that I believe in and initiatives I believe in. And I will ask people to come to me and tell me why it should be theirs or why it should be them. So this is not just the ones we all know about. I'm going to put it out there. There's going to be a call. There's going to be a call put out there. I want people to come to me and tell me why I need to help them. Right. So this is not going to be a hierarchical thing for me. That I feel good because I'm giving it to this charity that's been around for 100 years. That's not what I'm into at all. You know me, Henna, right? Like, if you could be one person that's making a difference in your small village in a third world country, right? If you tell me what you're going to do with that money and it resonates with me, you're getting my money, right? So that's the first way I'm doing it. The second, and part of this is, do you know there's people that will never be able to afford the different resources and things that we're doing, even kind of, you know, the fact that we're going from, you know, almost giveaway to obviously, you know, sky's the limit. There's still people that can't even get that. They still can't go online and get that. Or, you know, I want to be able to give them access to certain programs, courses, services in the academy for free. But I still need to pay people to provide those services. I still need to do that. So that's where the money would go, is that the person would get it for free. So this could be a village of small girls, you know, in Kuala Lumpur, right? In an orphanage. It could be anything, right? It could be in the, you know, the city I live in, you know, trafficked, you know, women. Like, it could be all of the above, right? I want to be able to give them resources to get control of their lives. So that's the other place that the money will go in terms of the foundation. So that's kind of, you know, that's my lofty, yet I will accomplish it mandate, because I am a disciplined person. I will do the work, and I do believe in mentors and gurus.
Now,
and I definitely have an open mind, girlfriend. The problem is it never closes.
Now, my last question, we are at the last question.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Is that we as women are prone to giving ourselves internal deadlines, whether it's for love, whether it's career, whether it's buying a house, buying a car, going on a trip, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
Getting a new degree and that sort of thing. So my question for you is, what advice would you give to women who may feel that they may be too old to start something new?
Mm-hmm. I actually feel that people are usually too young to start something. I usually feel that, as opposed to the other way around. I feel that the older you get, the more you are in a position to be successful at starting something new, because there's been so much life's lessons and so much of the crap that you've been able to unpack to create the narrative that actually works for you. And if you don't, and you haven't, then there's ways to do that too, right? So I'm kind of the other way around. I feel that, if I was to look back on my life and, look at, 2002, which is the year I got divorced, and also the year that I started Anoki and Open Chest, if I'd have known more, so this is the flip side to the positive of not knowing enough, right?
Yeah.
If I'd have known more, would I have been more successful? Would I have been able to accomplish greater service in the things that I've done? And this is the reason why I call the Academy Confidence. The reason is that everything up until maybe around 2017 that I have done has been in abject lack of confidence. So then I think to myself, if I'd have had the confidence, i.e. the tools and all the other things that you need to be confident, and that's like a whole other conversation about what actually is confidence, where would I have been today? So if I accomplished all the things that I did with not having any confidence, can you imagine if I'm able to tool people with the tools of the confidence gap that they have, where they could actually take their lives? That's the reason why reason why I didn't call this academy the Media Academy or the Communications Academy. I called it the Confidence Academy, because this is not about the skill you'll learn. This is about what that skill will get for your life. And that's the confidence piece.
I love it.
Mm-hmm. You know me, I've really thought about it.
I love. So it's www.theopenchestconfidenceacademy.com.
You got it, girlfriend. And if you want to search us on social, we're on Instagram, we're on YouTube, we're on Facebook, we're on LinkedIn under the Open Chest Confidence Academy. I really, really want to encourage people to come and, join us on our socials, give us some support so that we can grow this academy with the right people, the people that actually want this. This to me isn't a quantity game, it's a quality game. I want to be able to, I prefer to have, 10 people who are truly, genuinely on this quest and this transformation and this growth that the Academy is for, than to have 1 million people who are literally there to spam. Like, I have no interest in that. Like, I want to also avoid the people that are there for the right reasons to have to kind of sift through all of the garbage. So I'm going to be very strict about that, Henna. I see a lot of people out there, they get spammed and they, bot spammed and all this stuff, and they just let it all sit there. I will never do that. I'm going to be very transparent, and it'll be in the rules, right? That, if you spam, if you have negative comments on any of our social media and we catch it, you will be banned. And the reason is that, it doesn't matter to me that you have something negative to say about what we're doing. It doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that the people that need what we have to offer are actually not having to sift through the negative to find the positive. We're there to serve them. We're not there to be a caveat for someone's entertainment. So I'm just putting it out there, you know, that we will be very, very mindful to make sure that we give the right quality to the people that are coming there for the right reasons, and everyone else, they will not be entertained.
Bravo.
Yes.
Thank you, Raj. Thank you so much for taking the time to tell me all about your academy and your journey. And I mean, you are such a wonderful storyteller. So I knew that this conversation would be really easy and full of such words of wisdom. So thanks for taking the time out.
Sweetheart, I couldn't have imagined to go on this kind of deep dive journey of kind of, you know, how I've gotten here with anyone but you. I sincerely appreciate your time. And I really hope that anyone out there that listens to our conversation, you'll see that it will be a conversation as a mini series so that you guys can just take the little caveats along the journey of our conversation, rather than it being in one whole piece. So if you've come to the end of this video and you haven't had a chance to see all the others, go back, go and listen to the entire conversation, because we've kind of drip fed it out bit by bit so that you don't miss all of the little mini caveats that we want to make sure that you guys get to understand about this journey that I've been on, and this journey that I truly hope that you guys will be on also. And it's the journey of your life. It's the journey of what it is that you need to be the best that you can be. And to me, that means, you know, being happy. Like, what does that mean to you? Like, think about that for a moment, because, you know, at the end of the day, we all really do need to think about how important we are to ourselves. And that really is where it starts. And I hope that the start of that journey for you, if you haven't been on it, is with us here at the Open Chest Confidence Academy. Thank you so, so much.